Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Legacy League with Green-White Reclaimer. Yes, you heard it right. Green-White Reclaimer in Legacy. Made a couple of changes since the last list that you're gonna find in the previous video. Adding a couple of Containment Priests. Hopefully, I have not gotten paired against either Show and Tell nor Elves just yet. But yeah, we're gonna see if Containment Priest helps a little bit. Both of those seems like awful matchups, so I'm hoping that this guy is going to, this gal, I guess, is going to help us out. Very Egyptian looking gal. And the other change that I made was Path to Exile. I cut the dinos, I cut the shifting ceratops, because it felt like they were not doing what I wanted them to do in the matchup where I wanted them, particularly against Delver. They seemed like a little bit too slow and a little bit too hard to cast. So I just decided that maybe just adding stuff like Path to Exile was going to be better. What about the Script Ranger against Delver combos with Reclaimer? Yeah. The problem with Script Ranger is like we only have one Knight of Reliquary, and like there's only like Reclaimer and Knight are literally the only two things that Reclaimer combos with. In Maverick it combos with Noble Hierarch, it combos with I guess Dry Diver too. Well, with Dry Diver, with Mother of Runes, with the 4 Knight of the Reliquaries, like it just has so many combos going on in Maverick, and we just don't have any of those, so it doesn't seem like it's worth a slot in this particular list. Also, I'm just trying to convince myself to keep this hand, but it's just not keepable. This hand is a lot better. Turn 1, basic forest into Reclaimer. So if we're playing a bold deck, there is definitely a consideration for playing Windswept Heath on turn 2. Just so we can make sure that the Reclaimer is a 3-4. I think I'm probably still going to play Flagstones regardless. Snow-covered island. Preordain. So this might be... That's the worst draw in our deck. Basically, at any point of the curve, this is always the worst draw in the deck. Every single time. You never want to draw this card. It's basically like you skip the draw step, which can be pretty backbreaking sometimes. So my opponent could be playing a combo deck here. Alternatively, they could be playing... we played against Delver earlier today. Blue-red Delver. It looks like Storm, if I had to guess. Or Doomsday. We have access to Bujukibok here, basically. That's all that we're doing. Our best draw, I guess, would be Athalia. Maybe if we're playing against exactly Storm, maybe a Collector Oof. I think that we're just playing against the combo deck. So Thalia is what we want to see here. Thalia, one time. No such luck. But now we can at least deal some damage to my opponent. We can start piling up the damage. And this is lethal next turn. So my opponent has this turn to kill me. Or they need to interact with my board, either or. It seems like my opponent might be on Doomsday. Which would mean that we're probably just dead here. Because Doomsday plays in such a way... Doomsday kills in such a way that they don't require the graveyard whatsoever. Okay, it might be Storm. Yep. If we bulk here, my opponent still has a shit ton of mana. But I mean, it is the axis on which we can interact, so I guess that we're kind of forced to do it regardless. This is kind of what we got going on, which is probably not going to be enough, but maybe this messes up with their math. I doubt it. Like 6 mana is it's a lot. Yeah, they have LED. They have So we just needed to draw Thalia the previous turn in order to have any shot at winning this game. They have to go for Adnos though. So there's a very, 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 very slim chance that they could whiff. Because they probably don't have enough for Past in Flames kill. They just don't have enough mana. So I think that they just have to tutor for Atmos. But yeah, at 16 life, I think that they got it. Like, things need to go. We need to get extremely lucky. Stupid cable. So they have exactly... No, they don't have exactly lethal. Days. Wow. It still doesn't do it. Please whiff. Please whiff. That's very close to lethal. No, that's actually lethal. Now that's very lethal. Yeah, so they got me now. Yeah, I just needed them to have like a bunch of... to hit like a bunch of like cantrips and stuff, you know, so they just never find Lotus Petals. But yeah, we are dead so's. Alright, we do have a lot of tools for this matchup, however. So we're playing against Ant. Archon is good. This is good. Surgical is okay. Source of Blushes, obviously. It's great. Deafening Silence and Mindbreak Trap. Collector Roof is great. Scavenging News is medium. Caracas is the card that I usually side out here. Raminap out. Primetime out. We don't need it. Apparition, I guess we keep it. Tracker can go. Library can go. Surgical is so weird in this matchup. Knight of Autumn. Yeah, it's here. Or do you mean to cut the Knight of Autumn? I think it's okay. Maybe because we have Skyclave Apparition, we don't want the Knight of Autumn. So the reason why I think Knight of Autumn... I guess maybe this is just like old school thinking. Is this kind of deck used to play Dread of Night in the sideboard before, so having access to a tutorable answer to Dread of Night is a thing. But I think that the hate of choice nowadays is a Massacre, so we might not need it. So we got all of our cheap interaction, all of our cheap dudes. Maybe we can just cut it, dry it. We could potentially cut a Knight, but the thing is that Knight just really beats down, which is great. Keep this 100%. The question is, what do we do turn 1? I kind of want to Misty, say go. Then turn 2, we can Stones, hold up Veil, and Silence. This hand looks very good to me, but the sequencing is gonna be key. I'm playing Deafening Silence on 2 regardless, right? So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. So we're gonna start here. Just Misty go. Turn 2, we're gonna Silence. And turn 3, we're going to Reclaimer, maybe? I've seen Storm decks side with Detection Tower for Veil. Yeah, but like Veil is mostly like a combination of a combination with Deafening Silence, kind of, right? What's up, Scott? How's it going? It's not bad. So that's their turn. Deafening Silence, opponent. There's a Deafening Silence in play. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so play a Reclaimer. Now we can start winning the game. That is their turn, so I guess we're going to get to once upon end step, which is kind of its pretty great value here. I am almost interested in getting some wastelands going. So let's see what we find off of this once upon. I'm kind of looking for a land, actually. Pog? Fuck yeah. Give your Damon, think about the follow. Untap land would be great. Zenith. What were you afraid of when you held on Reclaimer on turn 2 to have Veil available? A bounce spell for the Deafening Silence. Not on my end step, but on their main phase, right? Exactly. We can just pass. I think I like just passing here. Because the next turn we can tap out very, very safely, which is nice. Because we're using this turn to ramp. So we have a pretty great engine going on here. Say nothing, think about the follow. Good. 2, 3. Okay. At this point, I think that we can't lose anymore. Having the Veil in hand, having Deafening Silence and Archon, I think that we're just good to go. I think that we just don't play any spells for the remainder of the game, basically. And I think that we're going to be fine. We only play a Zenith for Dryad whenever it's lethal. And then we take it from there. Also, we already have a field going next turn, so like this is cool. They can kill one of these here, but it kind of doesn't matter. Is it worth to cast a spell here? We can play Apparition, destroy the Petal. We can play Second Reclaimer. The fact that we have 2 lock pieces, the fact that we have 2 lock pieces that they can't win through makes me not worry too much about tapping out here. Let's go for Apparition, which is going to blow up their Lotus Petal here. We can protect this turn, but that's fine. They don't have... I mean, I guess they do have decay mana. Maybe it's worth it for them to decay here. Sure. So we're gonna get something decayed, probably the Archon. Yeah, but I don't mind too much about that, really. Oh, I should have played the Reclaimer there. That was a mistake. Whoops. After the Archon dies, I could have just played the Reclaimer. So, the land step. So I guess I'm just gonna get a second field here. Go to Plains. No, we get Valakut, actually. Gives me a Sombo and... Okay. So now we have lethal. And if they interact with my stuff, that means that they don't... Like if they bounce or they decay the Dryad, that means that they are not answering the Deafening Silence, which means that they're still losing. Sure. So now they're actually just dead. Fluster. No, thank you. So now this is actual lethal. Boom, boom, sack, whatever. Get whatever. Dead. All right, game 3. All of this seems fine to me. Maybe Force is a kind of interesting card. Nah, this is fine. We have Oof, right? That opener, though, jeez. They kept 7. Yeah, I guess I keep this. Like, I'm not excited, but we have turn 1 lock piece. Our mana is kind of shitty, honestly. Like, if I need 3 basics. Wow. Alright. By Deafening Silence. Something good. Something slow, but something good. So I kind of got what I needed, what I wanted there. Maybe we'll get dazed here. I still think I jam. No, we don't play around daze. Daze also means that they're down in land drop, right? So it's not the end of the world. Seen it for oof. But that's fine. So I think we play Dryad here. We play Knight, sorry, because it gives us more mana to work with next turn. It's bad against exactly Massacre, but they don't even have a swamp yet. So Massacre is not free. And now starting this turn, we actually have access to significant amount of mana. We're going to be able to sin it for oof. We should do some work in helping to lock my opponent out, and then next turn we can Dryad, and then we can start getting the Flagstones engine going, which should be pretty solid. No Titania in the 75 makes me sad. It's just not what we're trying to do, honestly. The reason for no Titania is that, you know, just why? Yes. Please and thank you. Give me that oof, baby. Say it with me, opponent. Oof. Oof. Also, oof. That was actually a mistake on my part. Yep. I guess that we legit cannot play around. We actually cannot play around, what's his name, right? Because we cannot play around Massacre. We get a Valakut, another land, getcha. Swing for not wasting them. You're super right. You're super right, Dubwick. That was the line, 100%. So the only thing that we lose to at this point is exactly Massacre, right? So there's no need to play Scavenginus into the Massacre. Are we on field? Yeah, we are. Got him! Yeah, so as I was saying, like, the game 1, we kind of rely on finding one of our Thalias, but games 2 and 3, we just have so many tools against this kind of matchup. I think that I am something like 4-1 against Ant with this list since I built it on when was it? On Wednesday last week. How is the deck so far? It's been surprisingly good, Niyasha. So the very early lists were really bad. Like I went 2-3 with my first league, and I like throughout the list I even forgot to put Caracas in my deck. So like one of my losses in that league was to Black Green Depths, where like it would have been very easily winnable for me if I had access to Caracas, but I just didn't have it in my 75 because I was stupid. So, like the first league was a 2 and 3. Then I did some tuning and we got a 3 and 2 on the second league. And then I played the third league and I went 4 and 1. So, definitely the changes have been working out for the better. And then we just finished another league. And this is league number 5 with this list. Sand is awful. Sand is okay. Probably Delver? We're gonna play the deck in the Legacy Challenge? Yeah. Ponder. So at this point, this could be anything. I'm always hedging at first that my opponents might be playing some sort of combo deck. Or control deck, like Snow or something. When they go basic island, particularly snow-covered island, into cantrip. But also I played against Blue Red Delver earlier today and they had the same turn 1. So at this point, I don't even know what's true anymore. What is even true anymore? Astrolabe. Okay. It could still be Doomsday. It could... Oh, champ. Okay, so we're going to be doing that instead of playing Thalia. Yeah, just casually drawing the perfect card. No land, you say, huh? No land, you say. Give me another Flagstones. Give me another Flagstones. This could not fetch a card, a land that I could wasteland, so I might as well lead with this. So next turn we're gonna be able to scene it for Dryad. Intuition. Okay, so we are playing against OmniTell, which would also explain why my opponent hasn't blown up my Reclaimer, right? Yeah, so we have 2 lines here. I can use Reclaimer to go get... I can use Reclaimer to go get Caracas. Or we can cast Once Upon a Time and hope that we can spike like a Thalia or something off the top. I think I'm gonna go for the Reclaimer line. It just seems safer. They have the Omniscience. That sucks. Okay. This version has 4 Omnis. Yeah, but we are guessing, right? They have 4 Omnis, but they also have the creatures. So you're kind of just guessing. This can go. This can go. Veil of Summer. Maybe it's okay. Doesn't sound too exciting though. How do we feel about Oof? I think we don't feel good about Oof. How do we feel about Apparition though? One Embercool and one Gracer Brand. Okay, good to know. So I guess we do want the Mindbreak traps, and we also do want the Force of Vigor, I guess. So we're gonna cut the Apparitions, Library, Should we cut the veil? Just gotta dry it. Night is definitely important because of Caracas. But yeah, I am fairly certain that this has to be one of our worst matchups. First time playing against it though. Wait, actually, I might have played against it once. I don't remember. Still feels awful. And this is like one of the reasons why I was thinking Palace Jailer might be one of the cards that I was interested in trying out in this list. I think I'm supposed to keep this. So this is the other way, right? Like this hand actually does beat their Omniscience draws, but it doesn't beat one of their creature draws. But having Knight of Autumn in my opener is very, very valuable, I think. When it gets 6. Turn Timber is 19 ticks. Yeah, it doesn't strike me as particularly weird. Oh man, I really wish I could cast that one. Would be awesome if this one was a castable one. I guess any untapped land allows me to Dryad holding up Veil next turn. This version plays very few Seer Traders, right? Okay, so let's do that. Super awkward opener for us. Super awkward opener. Don't Teferi me, bro. Teferi and green for what? For Oko? Archon is an interesting one. That Teferi kind of like destroys us though, right? Force, pitching force. That Teferi is absolutely brutal. Like now my Veil doesn't work anymore. Archon is kind of bad. They also have a Noko, obviously. Why would they not have a Noko, right? We don't have white mana even. This Teferi was absolutely backbreaking. They also can instant speed show Untitled now, which is kind of hilarious. They probably should minus on the Astrolabe. Yep. I always forget that fucker exists in this format. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Hoko is a card. You can always play for less value but force your spell through. Yeah, I'm not too worried about counter magic. It's just I don't have stuff. I don't have the white mana, right? And this is a great example of like people asking about why I'm not playing depths in this format, right? Like the mana, as you can see, is not great. So I'm just gonna scene it for Reclaimer. Like it's something that my opponent is gonna be forced to interact with, basically. Even if they Oko the Reclaimer, at least maybe I get to attack the Teferi and kill it. The struggle played 2 colors in Legacy, but in Modern it's no problem. Yeah, I know, right? It's a problem of having too many sweet lands to be playing in your deck. Yeah, too many sweet lands that you just don't have room to play lands that actually allow you to cast your spells, you know? First world problems kind of situation. They kind of need to do something about this Reclaimer, though. Like, what's their plan otherwise? You kind of have to blast Oko in it. Just throw away the Teferi. Oh, that's a lot better, huh? That's a lot better, huh? Alright. Still, we have literally no castable cards. We can force the Astrolabe. Let's go. We're kind of getting bullied here a little bit. I'm not gonna say no. We're kind of getting bullied over here. Force an Astrolabe. No, I think I legit have to force the Astrolabe just so my opponent, like it's 3 less damage that I'm taking, right? So I legit think that I have to force the Astrolabe there just so I can buy myself a little bit more time. 1 turn more time, I guess, to be more precise. Because now I force the Yoko to create a food. You could be activating and you're not opponent. Pfft. Who are you even? Wasteland. Shit. Okay. Let's go. God damn it. man. This is rough. Ghost Quarter better confirmed. Just kill me, opponent. Just kill me. Feels like they're playing with their food over there. Okay, finally. Got him? Question mark? Got him? Ugh. Of course they had it rolled up. The other option was to put Archon into play, but putting Archon into play just doesn't do anything because they just Oko Plus on it and they just continue doing what they're doing, right? So Sublime Epiphany. Okay. So I guess they're not playing the kill anymore? The release the ant scale is not a thing anymore? Ha! Crack the food, nerd. Yeah, so they're gonna target this. Get another Elvish Reclaimer. Doesn't seem good over here. But fortunately, we got Common Sense coming in hot with the Prime Sub for the 6th months in a row. Thank you so much, Common Sense. It's pretty sick. Bant control local OmniTell. What is this tech? No, it's just OmniTell. But this is like the new versions of OmniTell that they are kind of an Teferi Bant Oko control deck. Wastelanding them is bad because yeah, I know, yeah. We grow their reclaimers. Feels bad, man. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just going to bucket in. Like, I'm just reading through chat and just hanging out, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm actually dead. Let's just move on. Well, that felt horrendous. That felt absolutely horrible. Oh. Bounty in all formats. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Gotta say, I've been loving the deck in Modern, using this as my intro for Legacy. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Getting into Legacy the best way. Seems like an okay hand. Oh, never mind. Not so okay. I guess? Oh, we're just dead. Okay. Oh, that's how they discard the Oracle. I was like, wait a second. Okay, so deafening silences, surgical veils, containment priest, Archon of Emeria, and mind break traps. Prime time out. Whoops. Excavator out, tracker out, library out, ooze is fine, plows can go, bog is fine, Caracas out, Thalia is fine, Apparition and One Dryad, go with this. Oof out. Oh yeah, we have Collector Oof. Whoops. Yeah, Oof should not be in my deck. Hope we don't lose because of that. I don't like that my opponent kept. Like, whatever we do, I think we're gonna need some mana, so... I feel like I wanted to start here. Two of my favorite streamers face off. Nice, Brady. It's not looking good for the home team over here. It's not looking good for the home team. Oof, 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 oof. Well, so I guess good thing that I kept Collector Oof in my deck. God damn it. They're gonna force me here? Yeah, I was gonna say, that doesn't seem force-worthy. So next turn, maybe we can once upon into something hot. That would be great. Yeah, this is game 2. So maybe they are onto a Belcher sideboard plan, which wouldn't surprise me. So that would mean that the Green Monolith and stuff would make a lot of sense. Just finished the interview and jumped in the stream. Yeah, sweet, Andrea. How did the interview go? Brainstorming a deck without fetch lands is interesting. I think it went well. Nice, nice. What did you interview for? If I may ask. Or do you not want to spoil it? Service now? What is that? What does the company do? They chose to not shuffle. So we really need to get a little bit lucky here, I guess. Alright, hook me up, deck. Hook me up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we find Valakut, we can Valakut into... Valakut, they're at 15. We can only get 4 triggers. Ugh, brutal. Okay, so let's start here. We can bring them down to 3. 1, 2, 3. No, actually we don't bring them down to 3, we bring them down to 6. Because we have 4 lands here, we find Valakut. So I think I like Thalia better. I think I like Thalia better, actually. It's a company that has an office in San Diego. They do solutions to manage workflow. Okay, cool, nice. Well, hope you get there, dude. Definitely holding up Veil here instead of the 1 point of damage. I get it's still the same clock, right? It's still a 3-turn clock, so the 1 point is not as valuable as holding up Veil. Interviewing is taxing my mental sanity. Well, but unless you're staying busy, which is a great thing. I feel like that is more important for my mental sanity than something else, like just doing stuff every day, like sticking to a routine, like using my head, you know. But it's like everything, you know, like the grass is always greener kind of thing, right? Okay, what do you got, opponent? Belcher. Don't belt me, bro. Feels bad, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Prime time. That's how I win. Prime time off the top. We have 1 Valakut, so prime time doesn't even win. We can't even cycle this Veil. I'm considering fetching because we know that the Valakut is on the bottom. So I'm considering fetching. Zenith or Oof are what I want to find, I think. Oof. Surgical extraction. Shit. Yeah, we just lose. Yeah, their cyborg plan, their cyborg configuration looks very, very different than their main deck configuration, right? Not even playing the deck at all. So it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, brutal. We did have outs that won the game there. This one right here would have won. But that's it. Yeah, not knowing their list definitely cost us. Because I feel like there's a balance to strike there, right? Having an X amount of cards against their game 1 plan and having an X amount of cards against their potential games 2 and 3 plan. So there's definitely a balance to strike there. Probably in the future, I would definitely leave the Knight of Autumn in, and definitely leaving character Oof was a good idea. And then maybe the Mind Drake traps are necessary, but not great. We're playing against Alan. Playing against Zach Allen. I like keeping this hand. If I know Sack, he has to be playing some sort of control deck or Delver. Basic Forest. Elves. Okay. One, two, three, four. We top deck the Dryad, so I think I'm gonna go for turn 1 Arbor. Yeah, this is gonna give me more Valakut triggers. So turn 1 Arbor, turn 2 Dryad into Elvish Reclaimer, turn 3 trigger Valakut. That's the game plan that I'm going for here. Seems like the only realistic way for us to beat Elves, honestly. I resolved our champion versus goblins on a move to 4. That's hilarious. Please don't kill me. Gaia's Cradle. Yeah, so he's playing Elves. So there's 2 ways to go about this. I think that I'm gonna go for the Dryad way, because I think it's the only way that I realistically have of winning this game. And I need to play the Dryad here, so we have a 6 lands next turn. So I could have played the Thalia plus Reclaimer. That means that my opponent's Glimpse is going to be 2 mana, that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's rough because that's 1 more turn that I am delaying my Valakut triggers. So I don't think I can really afford to do that. Here's the Glimpse. Yep. So we just have to wait that we just have to hope that they don't go off entirely, which seems pretty unlucky. Pretty unlikely from this. They have like a very, very solid starting point here. Cradle, please no 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 Cradle. Okay. So they have already used their Symbiote. So they need to have found Cradle exactly off the top right then. Yes! Alright. Excellent. So we're gonna do this. Sack here. Ha, sack. Werewood, Symbiote. Yeah, we just destroy their entire board. Let's get a Savannah. Kill that. Let's get another fetch land. Kill that. Sack another fetch land. Kill that one. Now we play Thalia. Still not out of the woods. But that was definitely our best shot at winning this game. That was most definitely our best shot at winning this game, but we needed to get really lucky there. Okay, so Containment Priest, definitely. Oh no, Definite Silence doesn't do anything, but Archon is good. Mindbreak Trap, probably something I'm interested in, and Path to Exile and Veil. Bog can go. Thalia is pretty bad, particularly on the draw. Library can go. Ooze can go. Oof can go. What else? Veil is somewhat interesting because of Thoughtseizes and because of Assassin's Trophy style cards and whatnot. I think I have to leave the one-off Titan because it's one of the few ways, like once I have fallen behind, it's one of the few ways that I can actually stabilize with a single card. So we probably need to leave the Titan in the deck. And Raminap? Is Raminap better than Knight? Well, Knight finds. I guess I might need Raminap because of Assassin's Trophy. Bog has been cut already. It's right there. So Dryad is very important, as we just saw. I think it is one of these two cards. I think it's one of these two cards. I think it's going to be that one. Sure. Is this a keep? Doesn't feel like a keep. Actually, I think I'm gonna keep it. Depends on what they do on turn 1. I'm either going to go with Basic Forest or Field of the Dead. I'm probably gonna go with Basic Forest because it might hide my Containment Priest a little bit better. And I'm probably not tapping out for Dryad on turn 3 regardless. Best thing that could happen, obviously, is we just top deck a Reclaimer here, which would be absolutely insane. Because it would give me so much flexibility, and it would also just hide my my plan so well. Wasteland. Okay. We're gonna get Dread Arbor here. Not surprising. By the way, something that Containment Priest does stop. So definitely something to watch out for there. We can waste this if we need to. Queer Ranger would be annoying. Also mismatching Arbor, Sack. Come on. Come on, you're better than this. Oh yeah. I have been told that so many times. I think that it has to be commands, and then we do the edits here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that after. I'm gonna do that after today's stream. Thanks for the reminder, Andrea. What do you got, Zach? Wirewood Symbiote. Cradle. I think I have to play Flagstone Sensei Go. And hope that my Containment Priest is good enough. But if I Wasteland them and he has another Cradle, then we're just so fucked. Fortunate. I might get punished by that, but we'll see. I am winning this race, I guess, so I should attack. The thing is that killing the Dryad Arbor is so much better in the face of Scream Ranger. I think it's worth it to Wastelander Arbor. Oh shit. That's a good one. Heath. So Savannah here. Gonna eat the symbiote. Trying to continue getting them low on lands, low on mana. So now they can't even activate Reclaimer. That one is potentially problematic. Well, we have to do this now. Wait, what? I knew about Priest. I knew that you couldn't Zenith for it because he would get exiled. I didn't know that it also applied if you just played it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It works with the wording. Yeah. So I didn't know all that. Yeah, I guess I just got myself there. Yeah, that's hilarious. That is really. I guess you don't cast your lands, right? Yeah, I just learned something new for sure. I honestly, like, I knew how Priest work with Dryad Arbor, but I didn't know that it actually worked when you naturally played it. But looking at the wording, it actually makes sense. Like, it's logical. Okay, let's see what we can draw here. Basic planes, not great. We're still kind of holding here, but not going anywhere really. Which kind of sucks. Because eventually my opponent is just going to amass enough of a board state that we're just going to be dead. Reading the cards explains the cards. Yep, for sure. Yeah, even if I had read the card, I would have probably made a mistake anyway. Things are not looking good here. Yeah, that's a problem. They still have one more, at least one more dude that they can play. They probably should, actually. Yeah, just tap for mana, probably untap Reclaimer here. Untap Reclaimer, bouncing Quirion Ranger. Maybe untap the other one, so you have a fresh Quirion Ranger unit. Yeah, this is just good sequencing here from Zach. So he's gonna bounce the Ranger with the Symbiote and untap the Heritage Druid, so that he has access to like insane amounts of mana here. So we just have to hope for no hard cast hoof, which he very easily can get to. He can very easily hard cast the hoof from here. So we just have to hope that he never finds the hoof, because even if he finds black mana, we can protect. Oh yeah, that's probably game now. So at this point, I probably would need to draw into exactly Valakut. It doesn't even do enough. Yeah, I don't think I have draws here. Archon of Emeria. Settle the wreckage. That would be funny. You're killing me, deck. You're killing me, deck. You're killing me. Maybe they play natural on James Shim Scoop? No. It's Zach Allen. He's not gonna make a stupid mistake like that. But he did not Visionary on end step. But I mean, probably a good idea from them to bounce the Visionary on end step. Plow. Okay, talk to me. Okay, not looking good. He is on his second main though. Once upon a time. I think he might have punted there. Another Visionary. So many cards. Definitely gonna plow the symbiote here and instead. I mean, if we see an untapped land off the top, that allows me to kill 3 things. So I would probably kill the Heritage Druid. We kill the Heritage Druid, we kill the Nettle Sentinel and the Quirion Ranger. Talk to me, deck. Talk to me, deck. Talk to me, deck. Talk to me, deck. Let's do this. Valakut and Flagstones are the picks here. So Valakut this, Valakut this. Flagstone's trigger, say yes. Temple Garden tapped. And I guess we kill the Nettle Sentinel. Because even if they have another symbiote, which it looks like they don't, then we might still be dead here, by the way, right? Like, he clearly has a natural order in hand. Because of the play that they made last turn. So they just, I guess if they play, if they have any land, they can, if they have another trophy, they trophy the priest. But if they trophy the priest, at least we get a Valakut trigger. So that's done. That's not the end of the world there. I should make your lands triple mountains. You should get 3 times the trigger. Yeah, exactly. That's totally how that works. Wow. I can't believe we won that matchup. That matchup seems horrible for us. That matchup seems super bad. To be fair, Sack mulligan to 5 that game too, and we got super lucky that they whiffed on actually both games. Game 1 and game 2, both of them, he just whiffed. Keep this, let's go. This is a little bit of the awkwardness of Once Upon a Time. Like, I'm kind of forced to... Yeah, let's go with Flagstones, I guess. And hope that my opponent doesn't have anything. And by anything, of course, I mean an answer to this Reclaimer. Don't do it. Don't do it. Basic Island. Yes. Vapor Snag. Another combo deck of sorts. Vomit. Okay. Let's get Temple Garden and another Flagstones. Snap resolved. You'll love to see it. What you got, opponent? If they just have a Noko or something like that, we might be in fine shape. If this is just OmniTell, then we're just probably dead. Preordain. Jeez, they're preordaining hard over there. There's some sort of combo deck, 100% though, because if they were a control deck, there's no way that they would have fetched for another basic. The good thing though is that I believe that this should be lethal. Yeah. So we just win here. Because we still have one land drop. Okay, sweet. They pitched Brainstorm, so no new info revealed there. So just save targets. Get Vesuva. Copy this. Boom, boom. Play this. Boom. Boom. Turn 4 kill, easy. Do I have Caracas? Yes. I made a mistake of not playing Caracas one time already. It's not gonna happen again. Okay, so we want Arcane, we want Force, we want Deafening Silence, we want Containment Priest and Mindbreak Trap. This can go. Bog out. Plowshares out. Maybe Veil. How does the deck look today? So far so good. I didn't update the record actually. We're 2-2 right now. Raminap can go. Apparitions can go. I'm thinking about just like cutting the Mindbreak traps altogether. I just have to keep them, right? To prevent them from like comboing me out. Are the traps better than Bale of Summer? That is the question. Knight is too important because it gets Caracas. I think I'm gonna go with Bale. Sure, skip this. Now we know what we're playing against. Second Once Upon, not the best draw, I have to say. Well, this is awkward to show them. Oh yeah, I have a Containment Priest, but I think we have to show them anyway. Another Containment Priest. That's bad. So this gives me a little bit of flexibility here. Getting to just what I can do. Library. Interesting. So they're just playing super slow over there. I think I'm fortunately going to have to spend a turn to sack for Flagstones because I need to start getting ahead on mana. We'd love to have access to something like a Veil. My mana is going to be kind of fixed starting next turn though. So if we get one more turn, here, we might be in okay shape. Okay. Let's play around back to basics. Play Dryad. Maybe this gets countered, actually. Ice Fang. Yep. Where's the Force? Pitching Show and Tell. Pitching show until, jeez. So they're just going for a show and tell for Omniscience here. Which means that if they go for it, I'm not gonna Reclaimer. I am going to Once Upon a Time looking for Knight of Autumn instead. Green decks are okay, free spells are unfair. Exactly. I'm glad that you get it, John. I'm glad that you get it. You're a very smart guy. Very smart guy. Force of Negation is unfair. Blue decks got too much this year, standing at the concession. Plotting his oppression. Stupid blue decks. Stupid blue decks. Get out of here. Silly blue decks. So, we're just gonna start fielding here. I'm gonna start winning the game at some point, huh? Thalia. Death Touchy Snake. Stupid and Death Touchy Snake. They force. Okay. I guess we still play around having to fetch Caracas. Impulse to shuffle the top. Interesting. To get a brand new library. That kind of uses their mana though. Alright, this... Unless they have exactly... They have a show and tell in hand for sure. Okay. So the snake was made for modern. What's it doing in Legacy? Still a busted card. So we get a couple of Sombos here. They shuffled. So we have to make sure that they cannot draw from library next turn. So let's get a plains. Let's sack the Snow Forest, which is the one we have in hand. And I guess I'm gonna get Caracas this turn. If we attack with everything, what do we get? It's 3, 6. We just swing for 7, which means the opponent cannot use library. Is there value in Wasteland in them? It prevents them from cantripping. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna Wasteland. Try it. Another Wasteland doesn't do anything, so let's do that. Let's do this. Six. Can we serve with everything? We serve with everything. They trade with one of the reclaimers. They take 3 plus 6 is 9 down to 2. The problem is if they find a greaser brand. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna attack like this. This allows me to play around greaser brand. Okay. They know about the Containment Priest, so they're probably not gonna play into it. So they know that they have to combo off here. We got there. I have no idea how we got there. I have no idea how we got there. It felt eternal. Holy crap. I can't believe both my Elves opponent and my OmniTell opponents managed to just whiff insanely, which is hilarious. Alright, Containment Priest was pretty sweet actually. In the Elves matchup in particular, I think that the only reason why I won that match against Elves was precisely because of the Containment Priest. Without Priest, I think we would have lost for sure. Also, Veil was super clutch in that game too. Should I be playing more Archons is the question. Like, this card is pretty legit. This card has been pretty legit for me. Should I be playing more copies of it? Probably not over Deafening Silences. Man, this deck just feels like it's really hard to build. What have I gotten into? What have I gotten into? Once upon a time it's been weird some matches. Yeah, but like I don't think that we want to cut Once Upon a Time. Like many times I've been able to Once Upon into Thalia, or I have Reclaimer and I'm missing Flagstones and I've been able to Once Upon into Flagstones. It just helps with your consistency so much. It sucks when you naturally draw it, obviously, like nobody's denying that, but it's still like it just feels like this card is definitely worth it for sure. I'm trying to think which ones have been like the MVPs, right? Like this card has been very good every time I've been getting paired against Storm. This card has been amazing. This card has been good. Of course, I want to continue testing this. This has been also good, so we probably don't want to cut that. Actually, I was surprised by Containment Priest. Like that felt pretty good in that league specifically. Even these are the big question marks. These could potentially be other cards. I think I do want to have access to Surgical Extraction, particularly because if we ever got paired against something like Dredge, like I have no idea how we can ever beat something like Dredge. It would definitely involve turn 1 Reclaimer, Bojuka Bog, or Surgical Extraction, and or Containment Priest. Probably all of the above. So Dredge, Hogak. I actually did beat Hogak the one time that I faced it. would we rather want Surgical than say Ravenous Trap? Yeah, because if you get paired against something like Reanimator, which honestly has kind of disappeared completely. Like I have not seen Reanimator in probably months actually. So maybe I shouldn't be taking that into consideration. But like they're just different cards that have different effects, right? Like against Dredge specifically, Ravenous Trap is better, but Surgical Extraction has, well, not only against Reanimator, where they can very easily play around Surgical, otherwise play around a Trap otherwise, but they can't really play around Surgical besides just having Chancellor. Also against like the Hogak decks, just like a one shot might be able to like still allow them, but to still allow them to go off. But Surgical on bridges, for example, it's actually pretty tough for them to beat. That means that you cannot really get comboed off anymore, and at that point they're relying on Hogaks and Vengevines, which is like their plan that is the least effective against us because we just have so many ways of getting access to Caracas. So in the Hogak matchup is the same thing. So there are multiple reasons, you know. Mindbreak Trap is here kind of as a necessity, but I have not had that card be good just yet. But it is free interaction for the combo matchups, and some of the combo matchups are kind of unwinnable. Even when we played against Upsol spells earlier today, it just felt so bad. And then they have the transformational cyber that doesn't even use the graveyard even, but at that point you're just playing, you're just kind of playing that, you're just playing that game, right? You're just trying to level up each other. Trying to level each other, not level up. So maybe Mindbreak Trap is the card that should go. And we bring in another Surgical and another Deafening Silence. Banishing Light. Banishing Light against the Show and Tell decks. Do I even want to fight that fight though against the Show and Tell decks? Because that's another question, right? Like, which ones are the matchups that are worth trying to fix, and which ones are the matchups where I should just like accept that I can't beat them regardless? Like Show and Tell feels a little bit on that camp, right? Feels like Show and Tell. I can try to play cards that would help me there. I could try to add Palace Jailer. I could try to add like Banishing Light style cards, but like how many matches am I winning anyway, while devoting so many cyber slots to that specific matchup, right? Even with all of those devoted cyber slots, I probably am not going to be winning that matchup very often. I kind of liked Containment Priest though. Felt pretty cool against the Elves deck. Second Night? Nah, again, like, because of what I was saying, I kind of don't want to devote so many slots to a matchup that I'm probably going to be losing regardless, right? But Containment Priest kind of impressed there, particularly in the Elves matchup. It was kind of great. So this is probably, I'm gonna be cutting the stream right now. It's been live for 4.5 hours at this point, but Scorpion Grey, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I mean, this is probably where where the list is gonna go next. Like next time I see this, I've been pretty happy with the main deck. I don't think the main deck really needs too much. Micah, thank you for the follow. There are cards that I wish I could play, but I just don't have the room for, and I'm kind of okay with that. I am a simple man. I see Maverick. I follow. Sounds good, Scorpion. You're in the right spot. I am actually very much a Maverick guy myself. This is not so much Maverick. This is based off of a modern deck that I created, and I kind of just ported into Legacy, and I just upgraded some cards. But yeah, I mean, I am a Maverick player, so yeah, I'm just like coming, kind of stealing a little bit from both. I thought Maverick had a decent show until matchup. No, Maverick actually show until is one of Maverick's worst matchups. There's some overlap there. Yeah, for sure. This is definitely a Zenith deck, right? But it's not a Mana Dark deck, right? We're playing 30 lands too. Maverick plays like 23-ish. We're not playing any Mana Dorks because we are a Field of the Dead deck. So they work differently. But yeah, it's definitely I am being influenced in some of my deck choices by Maverick, like the one of Sylvan Library, for example. I've been using Duke's list, Duke's on Twitch, which you probably know if you like Maverick. So I kind of have been stealing his lists, and then I've been kind of like throwing in my spice basically. So I think that he's been playing 3 Thalias and 3 Once Upon a Time. So I already was playing Thalia in the modern version back in the day, so that kind of came from there as well. The one of Sylvan Library, the bullets that I've been using, but this is not so much of another of the Reliquary deck. Maybe even I should be cutting Knight in this deck. This is probably like the weakest card in the 60 probably, which is crazy to think, right? It's crazy to think that Knight of the Reliquary would be the weakest card in this list, but again, we're not a Maverick deck, right? Like Maverick relies a lot on Knight of the Reliquary, and we have access to like Maze of Ith, or we have access to a lot of ways of maximizing the power of Knight of the Reliquary. Here, because of the Flagstones engine that works with Reclaimer, like our land slots are a little bit more crowded. Like we have a lot of like this engine just takes up so many cards. I'm even playing a Temple Garden, right? Like this is how many cards this engine really takes. So all of these cards are only because of the engine. Like I wouldn't be playing the second planes if I were playing Maverick, for example. I wouldn't be playing this many basics if I were playing Maverick. So there's many things that were changing. In fact, maybe I should be cutting one of these, the second basic forest, maybe. But whatever it is that I play, I would want it to be a split card, a dual land, sorry. So it could be either another Savannah, which I'm not particularly excited about, or something like a Horizon Canopy, which I'm honestly not really excited about either. Zenith is a 1-mana ramp and growth. Yeah, I mean you have access to Zenith Dryad, right? Like this is the only ramp that we're playing. We're not particularly interested in this kind of ramp. We're interested in putting lands into play kind of ramp. We're not interested in putting dorks into play kind of ramp. This might be blasphemy, but do you need a full for Wasteland? It seems like you want to develop your own mana early and usually earn Wasteland in a point until you are set up and you have a lot of ways to get the Wastelands. Yeah, Micah, well, that's actually a good point that you bring up. My original lists of this deck did have 3 Wastelands in them. Because the mana base, even though it's a two-color deck, the mana base is super sketchy. And it actually came up today where we just like could not find a white source for infinite amount of turns, basically. Like all of these are colorless sources or virtual colorless sources, right? Like this. These are all colorless sources, so we actually have 22 lands that make our colors, and that is these are the duals. These are the dual lands, and then so we have 10 duals, and then we have, so 10 plus, yep, so 15 green sources, and I guess this is kind of a color source as well at the beginning, and 16 white sources. So even though we're playing 30 lands, we're like, our mana base is, it's still not incredible, right? Because we have so many colorless sources. So in my initial list, I was playing 29 lands, and I was playing only 3 wastelands, and the reason was exactly what I am discussing right now, is the fact that I wanted to make sure that I was able to cast my spells early and often, and Wasteland was the card to go, so I had the 4th copy of Wasteland in the sideboard. But I've been okay with the 4th Wasteland in the main, which I played today for the first time, honestly. We could also like do a switch too, but I think I'd rather have access to 4 Wastelands and 3 Plows in the main deck, just because the Wasteland as a colorless source is potentially more important. The thing is, I don't want Canopy. Like the damage, particularly against Delver strategies, for example, the damage adds up super quickly, and it's the same principle as Wasteland, right? Where you're not gonna be wastelanding your opponent early. So like Canopy is kind of weird in that sense that you don't want to sack it, right? Is ramming up Wasteland engine power in Legacy? Yes, it is, very much so. Particularly with comboed out with an exploration effect, right? Like this one. Green Fashion is probably better than Canopy. Yeah, that was kind of my original thought, but then I wanted to, have access to 2 Field of the Deads. Note that we're playing a single copy of Valakut, right? Even earlier today, I think I won anyway. I don't remember if I won anyway. But even earlier today, I fetched thinking that I had lethal, and then I realized that I had drawn my only copy of Valakut. And I don't know if I just time walked myself or I just like straight up lost. I don't remember actually right now what happened, but a 2nd copy of Valakut would be great. Like there's so many lands that I wish I had the room for, but I just don't, and I have to make a conscious decision of, okay, do I want to make my mana better, or do I want to have more access to more of this lands? Like I wish I had access to Cavern of Souls, I wish I had access to Ancient Tomb, I wish I had access to Castle Garenbrig. Like there's so many cards that I wish I had access to that I just cannot fit, and all of those, like even the Dark Depths combo would be interesting, right? But what about Ghost Squatter and application there? I remember when I used to play Rock Delver, it was 0 basics. Yeah, I mean, you could do that, and there's also like the synergy that Ghost Squatter. We actually found ourselves in a situation earlier today where I could wasteland my own flagstones, and with a Ghost Squatter I would not be behind the land, and I would be able to trigger Field of the Dead, for example. So you still have that kind of stuff. You also have the fact that maybe your opponent is playing like a post deck or a Dark Depths deck, and they Piny Needle Wasteland, and you can go fetch Ghost Squatter and you still have interaction. So yes, there's definitely multiple arguments for Ghost Squatter, but like Wasteland, I don't know, just like playing in a deck like this, playing Ghost Squatter before playing the 4 copies of Wasteland is a little bit sketch. Like I would understand if you play 4 Wastelands and the Ghost Squatter, that would make more sense, but like just not playing the full 4 Wastelands but still playing Ghost Squatter, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of weird, I don't think I want to be doing that. Like I'm definitely leaving a significant amount of power in the table by doing that. The Valkyrie is super cool. Unless someone else is running this deck, I think you beat me a week or 2 ago with a deck like this. It's possible, Micah. Yeah, I mean, I brewed it exactly a week ago. Effectively the same against Delver, that also allows you to screw the snow decks. Yeah, which did come up today against. Was it a snow deck or was it against the Monastery Mentor deck? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the main deck, as I was saying. Pretty happy with the main deck. The only Probably the one-off slots that are kind of sketchy are these two. These are the two cards that I could see being something else, and like I wouldn't really mind if they were something else. Probably every other single card in this 58 I would like to stay the same. Maybe there's a way to like make the mana base a little bit better, but I think I like these 58 cards, and the changes would be to either one of these and to the sideboard. I think the sideboard could still be improved a lot, but I'm doing basically I have not played 2 leagues with the same list so far. Every single league that I have played has been with a couple of changes from the previous one. So the deck is still evolving, and I'm trying to actively try new things and see what works and what doesn't. Like I was expecting Shifting Ceratops to be amazing, for example, and it just wasn't. It just didn't work out that way. So that was definitely pretty disappointing. I was expecting Ceratops would be amazing against Rock Delver, and I just played against it, and it's just like it doesn't do anything. My friend ran a similar deck as this, with Mox Diamonds and Yashar. Not sure about how good the board was, but I could see it do some work in the format if you can power it out ahead of curve. That's actually something that I considered, and I think I'm not sure if it was in my original list, but I think it was in my original list. I don't know. I tried this card in Modern and it was super underwhelming, and what would we be fixing? So this messes with Fetchlands, obviously, that's the easy one. What else? Stops LED. That's interesting, but like, is that better than Collector Roof? It stops force. That's true. Force of will, not force of negation. Because of the pay life thing. But I don't lose to force very often. It stops Griserbrand. It stops Hogak. So Kabbalah Therapy, Flashback, the artifact, what's the name of the artifact? Altar of the altar kills. Stops Deluge, yeah. It's also 4 mana. 4 mana is so much in Legacy. It's also super frustrating that it doesn't stop Doomsday, for example. It doesn't stop Doomsday. It would stop Oops Soul spells, but we're probably dead by turn 4 anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. It stops Oops because it stops Dread Return. I don't know. I feel like I tried it and it didn't work out well, but we can maybe try it out again. Again, I'm just not particularly impressed by the Knight. So that's maybe the cut that we can make. Yeah, sure. Okay, so next time I stream the deck, this is the list that I'm gonna be starting with. Has Titan been good? Yes. Seems like a lot of mana. Yeah, but it wins the game on the spot. Like, it's basically a card that is just a one-off that is just in your deck, and you can sin it for it, and you win on the spot, or you sometimes you naturally draw it and it comes down and it just wins, right? So as a one-off, it's fine. Like I would probably not play a second copy. I would probably not want to play a second copy, but yeah, for sure, Gislo. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's a tough card to evaluate. I know that I tried it in Modern and I was very unimpressed by it, so I played like 2 or 3 leagues with it in my early testing whenever Syndica Rising came out, and I was super unimpressed by it, so I just got it. But it's like Creator Hood for Elves. Yeah, exactly. It's like you have this card like chilling in your deck, and you can sin it for it if things are going your way, and it just comes down and it just takes over immediately. And there's very few answers to it in the format, which is funny. Because like Oko is not even an answer, right? Because Oko is just forced to plus on this, but this just gets Field of the Dead, so like but by that point it just took over. You can plow it, same thing. So like unless it gets countered on the stack, if it hits play, it basically wins the game on the spot. Wondering if though you win lose games anyway with just your Reclaimer engine plus Stride. No, I mean you don't win. This is not a Titan deck, right? This is a Reclaimer. It is just like Titan Vial. This is just not. This is just not a. It's not a Primeval Titan deck. Like there are Primeval Titan decks in the format, but they usually involves Cloud Post. But this is not that. This is just a deck that just plays the one-off copy of Primeval Titan as the absolute top end. And it honestly, since it's one copy, I have really not been drawing it too much. And yeah, I mean, you want to get to 7 lands into play anyway, right? So it's kind of, it just kind of happens naturally that you end up in a situation where you just have Titan mana. Oh yeah. All right, sweet. Great discussion, but that's gonna be it for me today. So thank you so much if you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.